Before we actually start the official program, there's a very sad irony of this particular day, on this beautiful day. And that is when we bring in law enforcement officials to join our elected officials and our small businesses and our elected officials and our kids. We think about our law enforcement officials not only keeping kids safe, but keeping us all safe. And today the sad irony about them being here to help support the Safe Summer program is that we've lost two of the best and brightest. We lost Officer Johnson over the weekend in Northville in Fulton County on a tragic accident. Accident that took place with a vehicle, but he was in the street trying to help an animal. And then Officer Familia from the Bronx was tragically gunned down, as you know, yesterday while she was sitting in her police vehicle. So if we could, before we start the program, I'd like to have a moment of silence because I know they protect us. I don't know who protects them. We better start thinking about that. So I hope you would join me in a moment of silence for those two tragic situations. '20th anniversary. Hit it, Sheriff Zerlo. And uh-oh. Nobody did anything wrong, did they? I think the sheriff is coming. Oh boy, hands up. Not for me? Oh, I'm okay.
You did do something wrong. Hi guys.
Sheriff Zerlo, welcome.
Everybody. Good.
We got
You
some
guys all
kids
have
here.
your helmets on here.
Oh.
For
I gotta
wearing
get a
a
ticket,
helmet,
I guess.
guess what you get? You get a nice pink one. We're going to be out checking all the kids this year. The bicycle patrol, my two deputies, they'll be in the neighborhoods. They're going to be out making sure everybody wears their helmet, right? Yes? If they see you wearing your helmet, they're going to have these coupons, and they're going to give you a coupon for a free ice cream cone. So make sure you wear your helmet. Safety first. So, good job. There you go. Good job.
Congratulations. How about a round of applause for the guys who got a good ticket?
Good job, guys.
Thank you, Sheriff. Come on in. Thank you for doing your duty.
Thank you.
And all our law enforcement officials for doing their duty. Well, let me welcome everybody. This is the 20th anniversary of the Safe Summer program. And of course, as you can see here, it takes a team to do a program like this over the many years with 16 different law enforcement agencies across now not only Saratoga County and Schenectady County, and I think we've reached out to Albany and Guilderland, but now in the 49th Senatorial District, we're out in Herkimer County, we're out in Hamilton County, and we're out in Fulton County. So we have law enforcement officials keeping everybody safe during the summer. And I don't know if I have to talk about the statistics. I've talked about them in the past. 20,000 emergency room visits because of falls and head injuries in inline and rollerblading and bicycling during the summer. We're going to have beautiful days like this. The kids are going to be out. Stewart's is going to be providing free ice cream cones today even. And by the way, in Malta here, there are 5 Stewarts, I believe, and your main headquarters is in Malta. Is that right? So they're contributing a lot to the success of this program. But I also want to mention, in this, you'll be getting a free ice cream cone, kids, for Stewart's, for Friendlies, for Hayner's ice cream, and I get a free one when I go there anyway sometimes, and Ben & Jerry's. And one thing we didn't mention yet is that, and I don't want to say this too loud because these kids are all right, if they're not wearing a helmet, on the back of this, we got Danny D'Agostino from Martin Harding and Mazzotti here, who has given over, 2,000 helmets over the course of your efforts with Martin Harding and Mazzotti. And they will be giving, the law enforcement officials will stop, and if the young man or young woman doesn't have a helmet on, this also, you might have to take the ice cream cone off, but probably they won't. but they'll have a opportunity to take this to their law enforcement facility there and get a free helmet, because Martin, Harding, and Mazzotti will be dropping those off at all the headquarters of the law enforcement agencies and the police and sheriffs, deputy sheriffs, who will be providing these tickets. It costs $20 for a helmet, and that's difficult for some parts of the 49th Senatorial District for families and kids to come up with. So there's an opportunity for those kids to get those free helmets also when they're out bike riding. But also it costs $23,000 on average for a brain injury treatment for a fall in inline rollerblading or riding a bicycle. So it's not only about public safety, it's about the cost to municipalities, to our insurance that spreads across all boundaries, but most importantly it is about safety for our kids. They're our future, and of course keeping them healthy and well is a big part of their future. So it also wouldn't work unless we had the support of our local elected officials, and I want to thank Malta Town Supervisor Vince DeLucia. There's Vince here, and let him come up and say a few words about his beautiful town and the fact that he's in the place where all good things emanate from, the 49th Senatorial District.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Senator Tedisco. And thank you on behalf of all the parents and certainly all the children. We're very proud and honored that you selected Malta to allow us to have you here and host this event. And thank you and your staff for all the work that we've done to prevent head injuries of children. I had a personal experience having known a young lady through high school whose son many years ago had a severe fall and brain damage, and to this day is a young adult. Well, actually, I'd like to say young adult because I knew them when I was young, but closer to my age, who is still having serious repercussions from that head injury, and that was before helmets were required. So thank you very much. Thank the help of everyone here, and certainly the sheriff and Sergeant Dupress and all the other folks who are here. But the youngsters especially remember to wear those helmets. And 20,000 injuries, that's 19,999, far too many. Even one is too many. So again, thank you very much. We're proud to host this.
Thank you for hosting us. And the other thing I didn't mention yet, public safety, helping the kids have a good summer. You saw a pretty positive interaction between a law enforcement official with the sheriff and young people. That's the type of interaction we'd like to see more of. Many instances when they have to stop a young person, it's for a problem. Something's happened. They weren't acting appropriately. We need some of those positive interactions, and they try to do that as many times as they can, and they do that often. I've seen kids, and they've given me anecdotal information about kids riding down the road when a police officer is driving by, or a deputy sheriff. They're pointing like this to their helmet on their heads. And that's a good sign that they want to interact with law enforcement officials, and we need more of that. I'd like to introduce Sheriff Zerlo to say a few words, and we appreciate all the things you do for us as a leader out here in Saratoga County, Sheriff.
Thank you, Senator. First and foremost, thanks to Senator Tedesco for promoting this event on a daily basis. This is my 4th year, so kudos to you. To all our sponsors that are on the certificates, thank you for the helmets. It's about safety first. Like I said, when I pulled up, kids need to wear their helmets. Our patrols will be out throughout the neighborhoods and all the developments this year and throughout the summer, especially when the kids are home from school. We'll be making sure that these kids and adults have their helmets on. So my 2 bicycle patrol officers, Deputy Morgan, Deputy Brown, we started this program last year. They're out in the neighborhoods, they're on our trails throughout the county to make sure the trails are kept in a safe environment. Lieutenant Mazzotti and Sergeant Dupress, also part of my team. So again, thank you to everybody. Kids, you have to wear your helmets, and you wear a helmet, you'll get a nice green cone. If you can't afford a helmet, there's a certificate also. Just bring it to our office and we'll make sure that the child has a helmet to wear. So again, thanks, Senator.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you for your service. We have a great county clerk in Saratoga County. He's also a small businessman, has a great ice cream store, Hainer, so he does double duty. Not only services us at the county, but provides us those great ice cream cones during the summer weeks and days and months. I want to thank you for your service. County Clerk Hayner, I'd like to have you come up and just say a few words. And we'll be handing out those good ice cream cones. We got any new flavors, coffee, or anything?
Oh, we always get a couple new flavors.
Oh, good.
Thank you, Senator Tedisco. It's so great to be here in this beautiful town of Malta. I think everybody knows, or at least maybe have seen the papers, that Saratoga County was rated the healthiest in New York State. And there's a big reason why. It's communities like this, like Malta, who has invested in their parks and trails, who's invested in both passive and active recreation, and that takes leadership. So I want to just point out, Mr. DeLucia, thank you for you and your board and your planning board, everybody who's been involved in making this such a great community and making this healthy. In the Sheriff's Office, they are just phenomenal. It's been a pleasure the last 4 years to work with all of you and your staff, and we're very fortunate in so many ways. There's lots of reasons why we are the healthiest. You know, I just want to take a moment just to remind people that this, as you see more, the kids, they're out on bikes, adults are out on bikes, more people are walking this time of year. As head of the DMV in Saratoga County, it's a good time to remind people to slow down when you're going through neighborhoods, everything. Just, you know, keep in mind that there's somebody that could dart out, there's a ball that could go out on the road, kids are playing, and let's just make sure that we slow it down. Distracted driving is a big issue right now, so let's also keep in mind that there's little ones playing out there. We got to keep track of them. And this is our 4th year of being participating in this, not only as a county clerk, but as an ice cream shop too. And I want to thank Senator Tedesco for the 20 years that you've been doing this. And there's no doubt you've made a difference in people's lives, and I just want to thank you for all the work you've done, and appreciate you allowing us to be part of it.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much. And I started when I was 14, so I was just old enough to be around it, just above the age group. You know, something, a byproduct of this, because I've had a lot of parents come up to me and say, my kid came home and he said, I need a helmet, Dad, because I wasn't, and I started to think about that. The helmet law is 14 and under, but everybody that rides a bike should wear a helmet. And let me just reinforce that. Everybody who rides a bike, because you don't have to make a mistake. Somebody else may make a mistake. A driver may make a mistake. And it may save your life if you have that helmet on. You may run into another bike going in another direction. You hit a bad spot. So this is to send the message out, and through our young people, through our law enforcement officials, through our business sector, we've been able to get that message out not only to the young kids, but they not only permeate that in a positive way. Look, there's not going to be any law enforcement officials that are going to stop a kid and say you're under arrest, put them in handcuffs, put them in the car, or follow the law and go home and charge the parents $50. Because the law says you can fine the parents $50. That's probably not going to work. This is positive reinforcement in so many ways. Giving them an incentive during those summer months to wear that particular helmet, and a positive reinforcement with an interaction with a law enforcement official. And what would we do without the business sector, who provides so much for us? We mentioned painters, but also we have stewards, which do a tremendous job. And I'd like to have Maria just come up and say a few words on behalf of stewards, because they're tremendous citizens and just contribute in so many ways to our community. So thank you so much for being here, and over the 20 years for providing so much for us, so much help. Thank you.
It really wouldn't be summer without ice cream. And I can't picture now a summer that we haven't partnered, as you said, these year after year after year with this important program to get the word out about wearing helmets. And yeah, sure, certainly free ice cream has a ring to it. I think that gets a lot of people's attention, but we're certainly hoping to get the attention of all the parents and the families and the kids out there about the importance of wearing a helmet. And we are proud, Stuart Shops is proud to participate. It's a great partnership with the Senator, with our communities and all our leaders here. And we certainly look forward to an exciting summer. To keep the helmets on.
Get more exciting every day, every second.
Another good reason to wear a helmet.
Yes, you never know where the danger lies. But we really, truly look forward to this year after year, and the importance of getting the word out. And we really want to keep those smiles on kids' faces, both with their favorite flavor of ice cream and by keeping them safe. So thank you.
Thank you so much for everything. And of course, 2,000 helmets is nothing to sneeze about. And Martin Hardy and Mazzotti have been there to help kids. And they also have that first night where you're out there giving people rides. And they're not capable, and that's keeping us safe. So you provided a lot of help. And my neighbor, or ex-neighbor, because he moved out of the neighborhood, his reputation was threatened because he lived next to me. So, but Danny Daggett,
I didn't want to say that.
thank you for representing Martin Hardy and Mazzotti, and say a few words if you would.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for allowing us to partner with you in the program, and you know all the other great businesses, and of course law enforcement. You know, with what we do every day, we see the devastating effects that can happen to people who aren't wearing a helmet. Not only to them, but their families, the communities, you know, as a whole. You know, kids are precious. We have to take care of them as such. So when we were, you know, presented with the opportunity to partner, you know, we couldn't pass it up. You know, we want to make sure every kid has a helmet. We want to make sure everyone is safe, and we want to make sure that, you know, that the positive reinforcement, like Senator Tedisco is saying, happens and continues to happen. You know, growing up, you know, I remember as a little kid, you know, when I used to see police officers, you would run to them. They were your friends. They were the ones who would help you, protect you, and they still are. But I think programs like this will help the younger generation realize, you know, the importance of law enforcement and the important role that they play in our life. So, you know, there's so many positive things that the Senator has put together here, and we're just blessed to be a part of it. So thank you.
Thanks, Dave. I want to thank the camp counselors for the great job they're doing with the kids. I don't think there'll be anything to do. And the leader here in Malta, Barbara Mazurak. Is she out here? There's Barbara. On the phone. Okay. Oh, okay. Is my wife calling? I forget the milk and the bread, probably. Just let me, I feel compelled just to mention the law enforcement agencies very quickly. For those who are going to be covering this, I put it in the release. Saratoga County Sheriff, Schenectady County Sheriffs, Fulton County Sheriffs, Hamilton County Sheriffs, Herkimer County Sheriffs, Glenville Police, Clifton Park Town Security, Saratoga Springs Police, Ballston Spa Police, Scotia Police, Galway Police, City of Schenectady Police, Niskayuna Police, Rotterdam Police, Gloversville Police, and Johnstown Police agencies. All are out there protecting all of us, adults as well as children, and promoting a positive relationship with our kids this summer. Now, the last thing I want to do before we all go over to get our bikes, and I lead the way for this slow challenge. It's not going to be a race. We're going to go in and out of those cones, and we won't want to touch one of them. But if we could spread everybody out, what I want to do is just make sure everybody understands. It's not only important to wear a helmet. Look at those law enforcement officials, how they have that straight, flat on their heads. Let me show you what you're supposed to do. Not frontwards, not backwards. That's not fully protected. Bound flat on your head. Yeah. And then,
okay, put your helmets on.
When you put it underneath, about 2 fingers. You're going to fit about, don't make it really loose under there, because you want it not too tight, about 2 fingers fit, but flat on your head. Not tilted forward, not tilted back. So that's a good tight helmet. We don't look that bad in it. We're going to feel a lot better if we happen to have a little trip to the ground. So now, can we get everybody, all the kids?
3 through 6 first. 3 through 6 if you run your bike.
3 through 6.
The parking lot. Race 3 through 6.
Nicholas.
How are you? Good to see you. Did you
Not a
visit the
race.
capital? Yeah. One of you guys over here, one of you guys over on the other side.
Jimmy, are you going to go around?
Yeah, we're going to go up, then we're going to come back.
All right, so you're going to come back this way?
Yep.
All right.
Now we're not going to race. This is just speed. Go back to speed limit. That's a different ticket for speed. You just like fly in those things. You ever ride on one of those?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking for you guys, it might be a good thing. So you start to get exercise. So it's just, you know, when you're a little bit tired. We got everybody? Remember, we gotta go kind of slow because we're gonna try to go through those. I don't know how that's gonna work.
This is not a race.
Very slow,
Slow, and we're gonna line up.
because we're gonna bunch up when we get to the.
We're gonna bunch up. We're gonna line up. So what we'll do, we'll start down there. Start going like this.
Is everybody ready?
It's not a race. Follow one after the other.
Do not run into anybody if you can help it.
Wait, what are we doing?
We're gonna go around each one of those cones if you can, slowly.
Starting at the
Or
end.
you could just ride if you want.
On this side.
Watch, do not take those bikes.
Are we ready? On the count of 3. 3, 2, 1.
First bike. First. Second. Go. 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 Go.